Go.
Hi, my name's Phil Matthew, coming to you from a very big universe in a moment of time. Great to have you with me today on our video series. Now, just what I wanted to talk to you about just briefly was just developing an income vision, and just having a bit of an idea of what your business would look like. This is something that I've tried to get my head around, and I'm one of these people, being the X, part of the XY generation, that what I do is I don't try to carry things too much around in my mind. I try to put things down on paper. I think some people call it mind mapping, and when I do that, it helps me get clarity. It helps me get to the center of what might be niggling me, and it helps me get just clarity on what I'm doing. But anyway, you're not going to be able to read this, but there's just a little bit of an idea. It all looks like a lot of circles and a lot of lines, but it's just really me putting my ideas down on what I believe our business would look like. And just to give you a bit of an idea, from the core of the XY generation, which is our brand, and which we continually talk about, building our brand. These are the sorts of things that I've got written down here. Basically posts, Facebook and Twitter posts and blog posts. And Tom's the guy that's looking after that part of it. Being able to build relationships with your list, and that's you've got to be able to write emails, and that's a real art. And I'm pretty excited that we've I guess bought the rights to get that particular education, which is fantastic. And the good news is, if you want to be work with us, we can help you with that as well, because we've got the inside running on that. Just being able to run weekly webinars. I mean, if you had told me this when I first started this type of industry, I would have ran a mile. But now I've it's been about a year down the track, 6 months to a year down the track, and I've been able to get my head around and go, okay, there's a lot of benefits in that. To give you an idea, to maybe run a weekly question and answer webinar, and also obviously to attend webinars as well, because you're always in the mode of getting new information, new ideas. The big part of our business will be placing ads, paid advertising, and I make no secret about the fact that we plan to spend about $10,000 a month. Now, if you had over a year ago, when I first read that in some of the literature, I thought, you've got to be kidding me. But of course today it makes so much sense. I mean, businesses spend money on advertising. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not spending $10,000 a month now, and it's something that you obviously build up to. But let's look at it this way: that why wouldn't you start with $100 a month? Something like that. I mean, just to get your head around the idea. Placing ads, testing and measuring. I know that we've got in place about 10 traffic strategies. I mean, in the beginning we were just locked with Google, and that was about all we could think of. And so, we've sort of moved past that. That's exciting. Calling our leads. That's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but we can certainly got great skills, and we know how to do that. Sort of stuff. It's just it's not a big deal. But I can understand it could be a big deal. But the thing you've got to think about, if you're going to develop yourself, then you need to learn and take on some extra skills. The other thing that I've got here is producing traffic, and this is what we're doing now. We're actually doing a video, and we're probably running 6 to 8 videos a week. But I know when we first started, which was about 6 months ago, when we ran our first video, we did about 18 takes. It was in another room. It had a big sheet around it. It was just a bit messy. And but we started, and it's really only a month ago now that we set a goal to sort of sit down. Let's start sharing our knowledge with what we're learning and put these videos together. Now, the thing you've got to think about there is that creates organic traffic to our brand, which is XY generation, and it's something that you can get used to. Now, every idea that you have, I mean, if you wanted to, I guess you could write an article about it. That's probably not what we're going to do, but I guess you could. There's next level study and research. That's never actually going to ever stop. Sorry about that, but there's 2 types of education on the planet. There's the standard education, the primary, secondary, university type thing, and then there's self-education, which is what we're about. And there will be attending live events, and of course that really wasn't my cup of tea. But as you go along and you develop your vision, you can see that that would be a critical part if we're setting up a global business. that's looking at, creating significant income, that's obviously what you'd have to do. So just showing again, being able to get a bit of a handle, and if you're going to set up a big business, and that's, what you'd have to, get your head around eventually. But you don't have to start there. I'm just saying that I've got my head around it now after about 6 months of looking at this sort of stuff, and I'm feeling more and more comfortable with it. Now, if you want to get more tips, tricks, and information, then by all means just go to Wealth with XY Generation. Leave a comment. You feel free to look at some of our other videos that we're putting together for you, which you can get access to, just so that we can share where we're coming from. Anyway, it's been great being with you today. You have a great day, and we'll see you on another video. Bye.